In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a recovery vessel positions itself above coordinates linked to a missing Gulfstream G550 private jet. For months, the aircraft remained lost beneath deep ocean water, leaving investigators with very limited data about its sudden disappearance.
Inside the vessel, sonar specialists monitor signals carefully.
The crew deploys a Saab Seaeye Cougar XT-ROV, lowering it steadily into the ocean using reinforced steel cables from the crane.
As the ROV descends deeper, sunlight disappears completely, leaving only artificial lights to reveal.
Sonar imaging begins mapping the seabed, revealing uneven terrain, deep ridges, and
Soon, the ROV detects metallic debris partially buried in sediment, indicating that it may have reached the aircraft's crash site. Moments later, the outline of a Gulfstream G550 becomes visible, resting intact on the ocean floor under layers of sediment. The ROV moves closer to inspect the fuselage, revealing surprisingly intact sections with minimal visible external damage on the aircraft.
On the surface, divers prepare for controlled support operations, working alongside the ROV as the recovery phase officially begins. With the aircraft confirmed, the team transitions from search to recovery, carefully planning the next steps to safely lift the jet. Divers begin final checks, ensuring their equipment is secure before assisting the ROV in positioning critical recovery cables around the aircraft.
A reinforced lifting frame is lowered into the ocean, guided by the ROV to align precisely with the position of the jet.
A reinforced lifting frame is slowly lowered into the ocean, carefully aligned using real-time positioning data from the ROV systems. Far below, the ROV carefully guides the frame toward the aircraft, which now shows visible signs of long-term exposure to deep ocean conditions.
The ROV uses its robotic arms to secure the first cable, attaching it to a stable section of the aircraft's structure.
On the surface, divers enter the water to assist with upper-level coordination, while the ROV continues precise work at depth. Descending carefully, the divers maintain communication with the surface, staying within safe limits as they support the operation indirectly.
Additional cables are secured, ensuring the aircraft remains balanced before any lifting force is applied from the surface crane.
Engineers monitor the live feed, confirming that each connection point is stable and ready for the next critical stage of recovery.
The crane begins applying tension, marking the first moment where the aircraft may finally start to move from the ocean floor.
As tension increases, the recovery team watches closely, waiting for the first sign that the aircraft is beginning to lift. On the ocean floor, fine sediment begins to shift as the cables tighten around the aircraft's structure.
After months underwater, the jet is partially embedded, making the initial lift more difficult than expected. The ROV makes small adjustments, ensuring the cables remain secure as the lifting force continues to increase. On deck, the crew carefully increases crane power, maintaining steady control to avoid damaging the aircraft structure.
Slowly, the aircraft begins to shift, breaking free from the seabed as clouds of sediment rise into the water.
Divers monitor cable movement from a safe depth, ensuring everything remains stable as tension continues to build. From below, the ROV confirms that the aircraft is finally separating from the ocean floor after prolonged pressure.
Inside the control room, engineers verify stability, carefully monitoring every movement to prevent sudden imbalance during the lift.
For the first time, the jet lifts slightly from the seabed, marking a critical breakthrough in the recovery operation.
As the jet rises higher, the cables remain under constant tension, requiring precise control to maintain balance during the lift.
For the first time, the jet lifts slightly from the seabed, marking a critical breakthrough in the recovery operation.
On deck, the crane operator adjusts lifting speed, responding carefully to slight movements detected through the cable tension systems. The aircraft continues rising slowly, leaving the seabed behind as the surrounding water fills with suspended particles and debris.
Divers assist by stabilizing guidelines, helping reduce unwanted sway as the aircraft moves upward through the water column.
The ROV identifies areas of stress along the wings, where corrosion may weaken structural integrity during continued lifting. Tension is spiking at 40,000 psi. Backing off the starboard jet, we have the ascent confirmed. Small shifts in the cables require immediate correction, as even minor imbalance could destabilize the entire recovery operation. The aircraft continues its ascent, marking steady progress as the team prepares for the next challenging phase of recovery. As the aircraft approaches shallower depths, water pressure decreases, but new risks begin to emerge during the lifting process. The changing pressure affects buoyancy, causing slight instability as the aircraft begins to shift more freely in the water. On deck, the crew prepares for surface recovery, anticipating the moment when the aircraft will break through the water.
As sunlight begins to reach the aircraft, visibility improves, revealing more detail across the jet's weathered exterior.
Small swings begin to appear, forcing the team to carefully adjust tension and maintain balance throughout the lift.
At the surface, crane operators make precise adjustments, ensuring the aircraft remains aligned as it nears open air. The aircraft moves closer to the surface, marking a critical transition from deep-sea recovery to final extraction.
Easy!
Hold the cable steady, watch the guides.
All right, touchdown. Secure the slings now.
Easy, easy, bring it left.
Confirmed, coming left.
All right, it's set. Start the securing process.
For the first time since its disappearance, the aircraft makes contact with solid ground aboard the recovery vessel.
Bring her down easy now. Watch the starboard connection point. Torquing the final bolts now. It's secure.
Close inspection reveals extensive surface damage, with corrosion and marine growth covering much of the aircraft's exterior. The corrosion near the door mechanism is extensive.
The density ratings confirm significant degradation. We should focus on the cockpit entry point.
The corrosion here is deeper than the initial survey suggested. Right, the scan shows significant pitting. We need to adjust the recovery parameters.
With the aircraft secured, the vessel prepares to transport it for further investigation and detailed examination.
Damage patterns across the wings and fuselage suggest prolonged exposure to pressure and underwater conditions.
The data confirms the structural failure originated right here.
Get a measurement on that depth and let's compare it to the control surface data.
The ROV is brought back on board, having completed its role in locating and assisting the recovery operation. As the sun sets, the mission reaches a significant milestone with the successful recovery of the aircraft.
The vessel begins its journey back, carrying valuable evidence that may finally answer long-standing questions.
Further analysis of the cockpit may provide insights into the final moments before the aircraft was lost.
Look at the stress fractures near the starboard wing mount. The data confirms significant impact forces at this quadrant. We need to secure it before the next phase.
The successful recovery highlights the capability of modern deep-sea technology and coordinated human effort. Every detail preserved on the aircraft may contribute to understanding what truly happened beneath the ocean.
Hold it steady, we're bringing the G550 down. Roger that, clear on the aft section. Lowering now.
As night falls, the vessel continues forward, carrying both the aircraft and the answers it may reveal. The ocean keeps many secrets, but this mission has brought one of them back to the surface.
While the investigation continues, the recovery marks a crucial step toward understanding the story behind this missing aircraft.